Hi guys, how are you guys doing? I hope you are having a fantastic day so far, because I am. Check my glasses out. I'm having a wonderful day with me husbandy, me boo le boo de boo. Say hi, honey.
Hi.
Say hi, hello. I'm just kidding. I like his shirt. Look, Steven, I'm telling you, represents. Okay, Steven is representing. Look at that. That's a nice shirt. Nice shirt, babe.
Thank you.
All right. So this is Stella Zone. If you are a new subscriber, I want to say thank you and welcome to my channel. We are. Where are we going?
Corning Glass Museum.
Corning Glass Museum in Ithaca, New York. I just came to visit Steven, and he decided to take me out. So he's sweet, such a sweet gentleman. I'm just kidding. So that's where we're going, and we're going to be driving for an hour. So I figured to do a video about what happened to me yesterday. Drum roll. All right guys, so I'm going to try and keep this video real short, and you know when Stella says real short, you guys are like, yeah, right. Okay, so what happened to me yesterday? Steven and I went to Niagara Falls, okay? And you know they have the US side and then they have the Canadian side. To all my Canadian people, shout out, okay? So we go there, we go to the Niagara Falls, we go to the US side, we do the little it's called Maiden of the Mist, right? Maiden of the Mist, yeah. Maiden of the Mist. It's like a boat, or you can call it a boat ship, whatever you want to call it. So it's like it takes you closer to the fall. So we did that, and I mean I decided to put poncho on because I didn't want to get wet. So they will give you a poncho for free, and you can return it or take it as a souvenir. I'm like, no, I'm not taking that as a souvenir. So afterwards we did a little walk around, and Steven decided, if you've been to Niagara Falls before, you know that it's like you can walk right from Niagara Falls. So from the US side, you can walk right into Canada, okay? So we decided to walk into Canada. We're like, okay, we just walk to Canada and then see what's up, you know? And so we walked into Canada. Mind you, we had our passports with us. I had my passport, my driver's license. Of course, they're not going to ask him that much question. So we didn't have a problem. We entered Canada, had lunch. That's cool, okay? You know, you can go from US to Canada just to have lunch. So we had lunch, and then we just did a little shopping. You can never go wrong with Canadian maple syrup. I don't know what they put in that maple syrup, but you can never go wrong with Canadian maple syrup. So we just went over there, had lunch, walked around. The place we went for lunch was awful, by the way. Steven and I were like, we feel like we've been cheated. We did a refund. And then we got our maple syrup, walked around a little bit, and then on our way back, that is when things started getting real, okay? So we buy whatever we need to buy. Then we went through custom and all that. So I get to the custom on the US side, and then I'm almost like being detained. I'm like, are you kidding me right now? This whole Donald Trump immigration thing, they are not playing. They are not kidding, okay? And I'm not angry. I'm not here to make a video to like
explain why they did
talk down onto customs, because I know that everything they're doing is to make sure that everybody in this country, in the US, is safe. They're trying to make sure that the country is safe. So I'm being detained by custom. I give the guy my passport, okay? And then he looks at my passport and looks at me. He's like, this looks like two different people. I'm like, oh my goodness. He's like, this looks like two different people. I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. I was just laughing, and I was like, of course, you don't expect me to be the same person I was. You don't expect me to look the same I was. When did I do my passport? I think I had my passport done like 2010, I believe. So it's been like 7 years. I think I had it done maybe in July or so. So it's been 7 years, okay? You don't expect me. And you know, in my passport, that was when I used to be skinny, okay? And for some reason, my skin was, I guess, lighter. I could show you my passport picture, but I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do that. And so he looks at me, and then he's like, do you have your driver's license? And I'm like, oh boy, my driver's license is when I had gained weight. That was last year. So I gave him my driver's license. He looks at my driver's license, he looks at my passport. He's like, this looks like two different people. And then he looks at me, he's like, yeah, but your cheeks are more defined now. And I'm looking at him, I'm like, I call a baby. How? Are you serious? Like, you're supposed to be checking my immigration status, not to be checking me out. And excuse me, do you mind, Mister, standing right here? So he says my cheekbones are more defined now. So I was like,
The other lady come
Okay, so now the guy calls another immigration officer who happens to be a female to come over to look at my passport and look at me if it's the same people. I'm like, oh, thank goodness I did not go with Priscilla, because they would have said we had to switch passport. Because Priscilla and I, for some reason, people think we are twins. So I'm like, I did not take Priscilla's passport, okay? So I told the guy, I'm standing there telling the guy, I'm like, if you need to do fingerprints, please by all means do fingerprints, whatever it is you need to do. And I had taken my school ID, because you know, after graduation I took my school ID out of my wallet. I think now I'm going to put it back in my purse. And so the lady comes over and looks at me and looks at the passport picture, and then she looks at my passport, the picture of my passport, and she's like, oh, her nose and ears look the same. I'm like, really? It's not like I got a nose job within the last 7 years, no. And so the guy was just checking. It's like, this is very difficult. This is very, very difficult. I was like, oh my goodness. I'm like, thank goodness I didn't have my Ghana passport. That would have, they would be like, man, I had a gender transplant. just kidding. But it was just so funny that, like, they kept me. I think we were there more than, like, what, 10 minutes?
Probably 10 minutes.
Yeah, we're there for more than 10 minutes when people were just checking and going. And I'm like, it's not like Steven went to Canada and then picked himself a wife and then just came back to Canada. It's not that way. So I'm like, I mean, so am I going to have to carry, like, because my name in my passport is still, my last name is still my, like, I have my former last name there, which is Owusu. I have not changed my last name, but on my driver's license I have changed my last name. So it's so funny. So I'm like, I'm gonna have to walk around with like a copy of my marriage certificate. This is so hilarious. And it's like every year, like, just take a picture, you know. I'm like, just check. You don't expect people to be the same, you know. You don't expect people to be the same. I was telling the guy, I said, the picture of my passport is when I was fat, now I'm skinny. He was just laughing. But I think about this and I'm like, this is like real problems that people like go through. You could be detained for from one reason to another, because I was like, I didn't understand, because I have gone through customs. I've been going through customs for some time now. You know, I go to Ghana, you come back, you go through customs, you go into Ghana, you go through customs. You understand what I'm saying? So and I've never had a problem. I've never had a problem. Just walking to Canada and coming back was such a huge, I'm like, man, I heard them telling some Chinese people, they were like, how did you get to Canada? And they were one of the immigration officers are like, well, you don't have the right document, guess what, you're not entering. You have to find a place to sleep. I was like, wow, these people are really, really not joking at all. Like, so I want to tell everybody out there, you might think you are a citizen of the nation. You might think, you know, you have the right. You can never carry too many documents. Like, if you know your photo on your passport looks different from the one on your driver's license, like, carry a couple of like pictures around. I will say that because that was just like, I was just laughing like the whole time. I was just cracking jokes. The guy, I'm like, you don't know, this is Telozone. I was just cracking jokes the entire time, because I'm like, you have got to be kidding me. You know, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I can live in Canada for a little while. I just have to find a place to stay. So that's a little bit of what happened to me. But they are seriously not playing with this whole immigration issue. They are seriously not playing. If you don't have the right document, if you don't have or if your documents look shady, if it's not from the right source, trust me, you can get in some real trouble. And what helped me, I think the guy was like, since I was on the US side, he was able to do like extensive research. Like, he was able to look into their database and find me. And so I was like, you need my social. I even had my voter's registration ID card with me. So I remember telling him at one point, I said, here's my voter. And the name, I have my husband's last name even now, because when you go to the driver's license to do a name change, they do both on your driver's license and both on your voter's registration. It's just my passport. So now Stephen is like, we got to get your passport, the name in your passport is changed. So just make sure that your documents are current and up to date, because trust me, it could happen to anybody, okay? As I told the guy, I'm like, thank you for what you're doing. I know you guys are trying to keep the country safe. So this is a little bit of what happened to me in Canada. But overall, I had fun. Niagara Falls. If you've never been to Niagara Falls, I highly recommend it for you. It's very beautiful. Stephen was asking me, where is this water coming from? You know, it's just beautiful. It just speaks of the majesty of God. It just speaks about the glory of God. It talks about the beauty of God. Like we were talking while we were on the boat, I would say, and then Stephen was like, so where does this water come from? And then we're asking questions like, you know, tourists, people from all over the world, and you know it's summertime, people from all over the world are here admiring the beauty of this falls. And I'm like, you know what? Well, as people are admiring, are they thinking, how did this come into existence? Who is the creator of all this? Like, I was just asking myself that question. It was just going on like in my head. I was like, oh my God, this is your beauty. Do people come here and then just pause and say, wow, how is this? I mean, the water, it was coming with force, like there was a full force. And I was like, this is the beauty of God. God in a moment can say the waters to cease, the force, and it will obey. It will obey God. It was just beautiful. And I don't know, people just go there to see the falls, but I don't know. I just went there to see the falls, and also I knew the one who had brought into existence this falls, the Most High God, and it was just breathtaking. It just speaks of the beauty of God. I'm like, I just keep thinking, I'm like, oh Jesus, God, my Lord, my God, like heaven speaks of your glory and the beauty of God. It's all around us. It's just that we have refused to see. The hand of God, it's everywhere. The beauty, nature, it speaks of the beauty of God. That is why I tell people all the time, that's why I say in my video, we cannot afford to miss heaven. If this is earth and you can go to some part and you can see the beauty of God, can you imagine what heaven, where Christ dwells, where God dwells, can you imagine what the beauty will be? So let us all strive to enter into the narrow gate. Okay, so have a fantastic day. Y'all like my glasses? See, these are my reading glasses. I look chic. All right, guys, so if you've not subscribed to my channel, come on, let's subscribe to Stella's Zone. Let's get out there, okay? Let's subscribe, spread the word, share the word. Love each other, okay? No hate. Love each other. Stay out of trouble. Put God first in all you do, and He will move mountains on your behalf. All right, guys, have a fantastic day, blessed day. Bye. Steve, say bye.
Bye.
See my African, he's wearing this African shirt. Bye, guys. We love you.